Good day and welcome to MD Sciences. This is a hub of academic knowledge, especially scientific knowledge, and due to the struggle most Nigerian university students face when coping with lectures and other things, we deemed it fit to establish a channel like this that would help students learn even in their leisure time. So sit tight as you listen. Alright, we'll be specifically introducing this course, biochemistry, introduction to biochemistry. The field biochemistry is a bulky and voluminous field of learning, but gradually we would look at it steadily and see the things we need to learn by the course of this study. So, if you look at the board where I define biochemistry, say that biochemistry is the study of the chemistry of living organisms. The study of the chemistry of living organisms. It is the application of chemistry to the study of biological processes at cellular and molecular level. So we must understand that when we are talking of the chemistry of living organisms, the reactions that undergo within the cells of living organisms, the reactions that undergo within the cells of living organisms. Okay, for example, there must be a reaction that will take place for human body parts to grow, for proteins to repair body tissues, for carbohydrates to give off glucose energy to the body. There are reactions that must take place. There are series of reactions and pathways that will take place for that to happen. So that is our focus in biochemistry. It's the study of chemistry of living organisms. The application of chemistry is the study of biological processes. Biological processes like growth, photosynthesis, addition of height, cycles in the human body, development, metamorphosis. When you study the biological processes in the cell and the molecular level, I notice that cell is the basic unit of the body. The cell gives rise to the tissues, the organs. So when we are studying the chemistry of living organisms, the application of chemistry to the study of biological processes, you know that we are talking of biochemistry. Now there are applications of biochemistry that we need to know. Applications of biochemistry. The first one that is here in this board is environmental biochemistry. Environmental biochemistry can be found in the reactions, the chemical reactions that go on in the environment. Environment, they keep degrading in quality. So in biochemistry, we can study and know what causes the degradation of the environment and how to bring about remedy, how to bring about the remedy, how to prevent this degradation of the environment. So with the knowledge of biochemistry, we can know the problems and know how to curtail it, like the depletion of the ozone layer. Like we know that when the ozone layer is depleted, it can allow the penetration of ultraviolet light and other things. So another place that we can see the application of biochemistry is in health sciences. It helps us to identify genetic pathways. With the knowledge of biochemistry, we can try to search out the causes of diseases, the causes of sicknesses, terminal sicknesses like cancer, HIV. The knowledge of biochemistry, try to find out the causes and how to prevent those diseases, those terminal diseases, how to come about bringing vaccines that will help curtail those diseases. And a field of health sciences that can do that in pharmacology. Pharmacology is a field in pharmacy, pharmaceutical microbiology and biotechnology. They can help in that. Now, another application of biochemistry is in industry. In industries like the massive production of beverages, of alcohols, of things that are needed in the household for human survival. Now the last one is molecular biology. It is the study of the genetic makeup of every organism. The DNA of every organism. So with the knowledge of biochemistry, we can study molecular biology. So there are many other applications of microbiology that are not listed there. So you read up on your own to know several other applications. Alright, so the next one we'll be looking at is the hierarchy of molecular organizations of cells. We've talked about the applications of biochemistry. So like when I started, I told you that it is the study of biological processes. So there are hierarchy, there are pillars. There's what gives rise to another, and from the highest, the smallest to the biggest. So in the hierarchy of molecular organization of cells, the first in hierarchy is inorganic precursors. These are atoms, elements, compounds, like we see H2O, CO2, carbon dioxide, ammonia, and the size is 18 to 64 Dalton. So, in the hierarchy of molecular organization, you see that these elements are the smallest. These elements, they are the smallest. So these elements are held by bonds, hydrogen bond, van der Waals bond, and the rest of that. So these organic precursors gives rise to what we call biological molecules. Example as we see on the board is fructose, glucose, galactose, and their size is 50 to 25 Dalton. Now, for glucose when there is reactions, the reaction of these inorganic precursors gives rise to glucose and other carbohydrates, molecules, carbohydrates, like fructose, glucose, galactose. Then for instance, the formula for glucose, I think, is CH5OH. So now if you see that it's a reaction. It's a reaction between hydrogen, reaction between these inorganic precursors that gives rise to these biological molecules. So So the next thing, these biological molecules gives rise to what we call building blocks. What we call building blocks. So it gives rise to what we call building blocks. Building blocks. And these building blocks involves amino acid, sugar, and nucleotides. Now, their size is 100 to 250 Daltons. That is their size. So take very note. In most exam questions, they ask you to list the hierarchy. So you list it one after the other. Now the next one here, these building blocks gives rise to macromolecules. Macromolecules, and the size is from 1000 10 raised to power 3 to 10 raised to power 6. And the examples are proteins, nucleic acid, lipids, polysaccharides. Now, for this protein, in the case of protein, this macromolecule, the building block for protein is amino acid. Amino acid don't have 20 amino acids, the essential and non-essential amino acids. So these proteins, the building block, what makes up these proteins is this amino acids, and polysaccharides, nucleic acid, and the rest. So the next in the hierarchy is supramolecules. Supramolecules. Next is supramolecules. So talking on these macromolecules gives rise to supramolecules, and the size is 10 raised to power 6 to 10 raised to power 9 Daltons. And examples of these supramolecules are the ribosomes, cytoskeletons, and cytoskeletons. Like we all know, ribosomes is made up of proteins. Ribosome is made up of what? Proteins. So another thing you must know is that these amino acids are held by covalent links. So take note. The building blocks, amino acids, are held by covalent links. The macromolecules are held by non-covalent links, non-covalent forces rather. Non-covalent forces. Like I said, they give rise to the supramolecules, the ribosomes made up of proteins, and the cytoskeletons. Now, these supramolecules give rise to the organelles, which are the organelles. The organelles. The nucleus, the mitochondria, the chloroplast, the other parts of the cell. So I think that is all we need to know in the hierarchy. So we take note of it because some exam questions, I think where the students were asked to, I think it's 227, they were asked to list the hierarchy of molecular organization of cells. So you list it out and know the examples. So thank you so much for joining us in today's class. I'd like you to like, subscribe, share our videos to your friends in other universities, and drop your comment in the comment box. Thank you.